Hi, and welcome to Gadget News and Review. We are home to some of the coolest gadgets, and the best consumer reviews online, buyer's guides and features. If you like our review, please subscribe for more upcoming reviews videos. Xbox Project Scarlett release date, specs and games confirmed for Xbox 2. Microsoft's next-generation console is here. After years of speculation that a next-generation Xbox console is on its way, Microsoft finally announced the Xbox Project Scarlett during its big E3 2019 keynote conference in June of this year. We only have a few details on Microsoft's next-generation hardware so far. Even the moniker, Project Scarlett, is a codename for now, but we do know it's coming, when it's coming, and a handful of the features and specs we can expect when it lands. Faster and more graphically advanced than its predecessors, Xbox Scarlett promises to be the most powerful games console in the world by the time it launches late in 2020, even more so than the PS5, which is due to hit shelves around the same time. For us, the console is vital and central to our experience. A console should be designed, and built and optimized for one thing, and one thing only, gaming, said Xbox boss Phil Spencer, showing the company's renewed commitment to making the very best games console it can first and foremost, after the mixed messaging of its flawed Xbox One launch. This decisive moment of discovery is etched in your gaming history. We on Team Xbox will always be dedicated to delivering the best new games for you to discover. This right now is the single most creative and energizing time in gaming history. Games and gamers can be a significant unifying force for the world. Xbox Project Scarlett is looking to be an incredibly powerful home gaming machine, with custom-built components from AMD, and an SSD drive at its heart, allowing for innovative game development techniques. It's unlikely we'll hear more about Xbox Project Scarlett during Gamescom 2019, but here's everything we know so far about what we anticipate will later be known as the Xbox 2. What is it? Xbox Project Scarlett will be the next-gen Xbox console, aka the Xbox 2. Xbox Project Scarlett release date. Microsoft has given Xbox Project Scarlett a release window of holiday 2020, so that's likely between the months of October and December 2020. What can I play on it? Halo Infinite is its first confirmed launch title, while all previous generations of Xbox console games will be covered by backwards compatibility. What will the Xbox Scarlett cost? No prices yet, but the high-end console likely won't be cheap. Will Xbox Scarlett have VR? Microsoft doesn't have anything to say about VR on the Xbox yet, though Sony has confirmed that PSVR will work on its own incoming console. With only a sizzle reel to go by, we don't yet know what the Xbox Project Scarlett will look like, let alone if it'll eventually be named the Xbox 2. But we do have a good idea of its internal hardware, and the Xbox Project Scarlett specs are already sounding quite special. Using custom-designed processor from AMD making use of Zen 2 and Navi architecture, Xbox Project Scarlett will be 4x more powerful than the Xbox One X. It'll be possible of running games at 120Hz frame rates, at potential 8K resolutions, while also showcasing fancy real-time ray tracing tech. It's the works. An SSD will come as standard, as with the PS5, which will give it the option of using its storage system as virtual RAM, as well as lifting load time performance by a factor of 40x. That'll let developers stream in far more detailed worlds around a player. In terms of standard RAM, the console will pack in a meaty GDDR6. Though gamers are increasingly shifting their purchase preferences towards the convenience of digital downloads, Xbox Project Scarlett will also have a physical disk drive. Speaking to Eurogamer, Xbox's head of Microsoft Games Studios Matt Booty said, "Yes, Scarlett will have an optical disk drive. I still have films at home on physical media, not many, but a few of my favorites. We know people have an attachment to buying games on disc, to building a collection. It's also likely that the new Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2 that is available for pre-order right now and launching November 4th of this year will be the controller for this upcoming console. That could just be wishful thinking, but with the hyperbolic language surrounding this announcement, we would expect nothing less. Indeed, Microsoft has confirmed that all your current Xbox One accessories will work with Xbox Project Scarlett, including existing controllers and headsets. But we doubt that also includes the ill-fated Kinect motion tracker. In addition, benchmark results have appeared online for an AMD Flute system on a chip (SoC), leading some to speculate that this could be the hardware that will power Xbox Project Scarlett. The benchmark results were spotted by a Twitter user, and while we're not sure what the purpose of the chip is, we know that Microsoft is working with AMD to produce a custom SoC that combines a processor and graphics card for the next Xbox, in the same way Sony is working with AMD on its custom Gonzalo SoC for the PlayStation 5. If these benchmark results are real, and the AMD Flute SoC is indeed going to power the Xbox Scarlett console, then it gives us an idea of the console's specifications and potential power level, something Microsoft has been rather cagey about so far. According to the benchmark results, the AMD Flute SoC will come with 8 Zen 2 cores, 16 threads and SMT capability. Interestingly, the base clock speed of the Flute SoC is just 1.6 GHz, which is pretty low these days, with a maximum boost of 3.2 GHz. This suggests that the Flute SoC will be a low-power part for use in compact systems, such as a games console, and is similar to AMD's Jaguar SoC which powered the Xbox One. While on paper the Flute SoC's processor doesn't sound too impressive, especially when compared to modern desktop PC's CPUs, it looks like the Flute CPU will be at least 2 times faster than previous generation Jaguar SoCs, and will be a big upgrade over the dated 28nm Jaguar SoCs found in the original Xbox One and PS4. The Flute SoC is also expected to be 7nm, which will also bring power benefits. As a system on a chip, the AMD Flute looks like it comes with a graphics processing unit (GPU) as well, though clues about the graphics capabilities are harder to find. Apparently, it will be based on Navi 10Lite, which has been mentioned before when unreleased AMD Navi GPUs showed up in a Linux driver. It's possible that this is a light version of the Navi 10 GPU, which will have reduced or limited specs compared to the full version, including lower CU compute unit counts. Having a lower CU count means the GPU will be less power hungry, again suggesting that the AMD Flute SoC, if it does exist, is designed for a device where power efficiency is important, such as a games console. Finally, the benchmark results also suggest the engineering sample uses 16 GB of memory, though the type of memory is not mentioned. It could mean that the Flute SoC shares 16 GB of GDDR6 memory between the CPU and GPU, in a similar way to how the Xbox One X shares GDDR5 memory. So, does this mean we have a better idea of what the Xbox Scarlett specs will be? Well, there's some compelling evidence, but remember that this is from a leaked benchmark, and we're not sure if the AMD Flute SoC is going to be used in Xbox Scarlett, if the SoC even exits. It's also worth noting that this AMD Flute is apparently an engineering sample, which means this may not be its final specifications, and that could change if, and it's a very big if, it ends up in the Xbox Scarlett when the console launches late 2020. I think the area that we really want to focus on next generation is frame rate and playability of the games, Spencer explained in an interview with GameSpot. Ensuring that the games load incredibly fast, ensuring that the game is running at the highest frame rate possible. In addition, Spencer went on to explain that Microsoft is aiming to get Project Scarlett games to run at 60 FPS in 4K, calling the challenge a design goal. This generation, we've really focused on 4K visuals and how we bring both movies through 4K Blu-ray and video streaming, Spencer explained. And with Xbox One X allowing games to run at 4K visuals will make really strong visual enhancements next generation. Halo Infinite has been confirmed to be an Xbox Project Scarlett launch title, bringing back the Master Chief for the franchise's first outing since 2015. It will have been 5 years at that point since a new mainline Halo game, so fans will be chomping at the bit for fresh Halo action. The Halo franchise is widely regarded as the original Xbox's first must-play games, so the move to launch a next-gen with a Halo game is both symbolic and quite business-savvy on Microsoft's part. If Halo is not your thing, you won't be wanting for games to play at launch though, especially if you're an existing Xbox player. Xbox Project Scarlett will be capable of 3 generations of backwards compatibility. So, as well as Scarlett-era games, it'll also play games from the Xbox One, the Xbox 360, and the very first generation of the Xbox. Microsoft won't be pinned down on a price point quite yet, unsurprisingly, given what a sore spot the price of the Xbox One was for fans. At launch, the original Xbox One cost a whopping $499 per £429 per $599, which was quickly reduced when Microsoft realized people weren't forking out. Price will inevitably be determined by the cost of the components going into the console. Xbox Scarlett is going to be a lot more powerful than either the Xbox One S or Xbox One X, and that could mean we're looking at an even higher price tag. The move towards streaming, however, may lead to smaller hard drives, or maybe even the option to buy without a hard drive at all, which would certainly cut down costs. Jason Ronald, director of the Xbox platform, gave only a vague reassurance when speaking to Windows Central, saying that Microsoft knew what reasonable price points are for a console and kind of what customers expect about that. Expect to see the Xbox Project Scarlett console launch in the holiday window of 2020. That's between October and December of 2020, and just in time for Christmas. It's exactly the same sort of launch period we're expecting Sony to have for its PS5 too. Santa's going to be a busy guy next year. We'll have more soon, hopefully including a specific release date rather than a launch window, and a real name for the console. Keep in mind that all the rumors pointed to there being two new Xbox consoles on the way, codenamed Anaconda and Lockhart, the former being high-end and the latter being a cheaper, streaming-focused solution. Time will tell if that's still Microsoft's plan, but one thing's for certain, it's throwing down the gauntlet for Sony's PlayStation 5 to take on.